Yes, we have invited the immigration family, so you can ask them. Immigration, please
Yes.
reply.
But before I ask you the question, Chairman Tenko, you're aware of your office na you're handling an online. Ibig sabihin, karamihan po dito ay mga foreign entities operating within the country, right? And they need more based on the pie that you have presented to us. There's a 90% of employees dapat ang Filipino, but in the current status, medyo marami pa rin mga foreign nationals, right?
Congressman, I just want to correct. Doon po sa special BPOs, we are requiring 90% Filipinos. Dito po sa regular IGLs, sa ngayon po, nung hindi ko po kapanahunan, 4:1, apat na foreigners, isang Pilipino. Ngayon po sa administrasyon ko, 1:1. Isang Pilipino, isang foreigner.
I commend you for that reform that you are introduced to your office.
Salamat po.
Do you coordinate closely with the immigration?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We coordinate with actually PAOK, PNP, DOJ, Bureau of Immigration, the NBI, regularly, sir.
Immigration, did you hear the testimony of our witnesses, those who have been rescued from their POGO employers, no, na torture? How many cases did, for example, may task force po ba kayo, Chairman Tenko? May task force po kayo for the raiding, yung collaboration nyo?
Opo, may regular po kami.
Okay.
Pinamumunuan po ng PAOK.
I'm sure you have the data of all those personalities, foreign nationals who were involved, no? How do you follow up on this, Bureau of Immigration? Because kung titingnan po natin ng news, meron pong lumalabas na nag-a-apply na nga ng mga ng mga passports, etc., na mga peking dokumento. I'm sure that's not part of your job, but as a way of internal policing before they come in, how do you keep on monitoring all these foreign nationals who are hired to work within the country under the pretense of a gaming operation owned by foreign entities?
Sir, Your Honor, for purposes of monitoring the foreigners
At
working
least,
here.
yes, please.
Opo. Nire-register po natin sila sa database ng Bureau of Immigration. Those who apply for working visas, Your Honor.
Okay. You said, yung mga na-mention po, yung BIR, no? BIR. Immigration. Yung mga, meron bang nasa listahan na under sa naread ninyo na nabigyan nyo po ng status na sabihin natin na abuse or nagreklamo or may ginawang kapalastugan sa kanya while working in this POGO?
Last two questions, Congressman Adjong.
May I ask for an extension? Kunti lang.
Sige, go ahead. Last two questions nga. Ilan ba yung question
Okay.
titira?
Meron ba kayo? Kasi I'd like to test your coordination eh. Kung meron talagang close monitoring and coordination ang nangyayari po sa inyo. Kasi ang penalty apart from the documentary requirements, I hope that you do at least man lang quarterly monitoring doon sa pagpasok sa mga POGO para ma-check kung yung mga establishment mismo. Apart from that, yung after the fact so that would also constitute banning or revoking the licenses of these operators. Kasi nasa batas na po, pag meron pong na-involve na mga krimen na ganito, dapat hindi na yan iniimbestiga, binaban na yung operation ng isang entity. So, was there any instance where an involved personality who worked, foreign nationals who worked in the POGO operation that is now being under investigation?
Yung mga na-raid po ng PAOK at saka DOJ and BI, may mga foreign workers po doon that have working visas. So, ang ginawa po ng Bureau, we cancel those working visas and we charge them for deportation.
What about those companies that are hired them? What na involved ang mga crimes na similar to what we've seen, apart from the technical violations, etc.?
Usually po yung mga Pogo na license na nahuli, pinapa-cancel na ng pinapa-cancel ng PAGCOR yung license, and once we get the confirmation na cancel na, we cancel the visas of other workers na hindi nahuli, and we direct them to leave the country.
Okay. Thank you. I'd like to go, babalikan ko po yun. Yusek Cruz? Yusek Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry yung mga na-cancela yung lisensya, meron po ba kayong impormasyon na na-cancela ng mga lisensya dahil may nagawang violation o na-involve sa ganitong klaseng krimen? Nag-ooperate pa po ba sila?
Sir, sa experience po namin, although,
Based on your monitoring?
yes, sir. Pag may mga involvement po, sir, like those who are involved in human trafficking, yung mga torture na yan, sir. Pag once na napailan po namin ng kaso yan, sir.
Aside from sa Porac, no? Kasi
Yes, sir.
ito, yung mga illegal to eh. Aside from Porac and Bamban, was there any other areas or operation of Pogos that have not secured license, or those who have secured license but na-ban sila or na-revoke yung license sila because of similar crimes that have committed within their vicinity that are still, even after the revocation of the license, still continue to operate, and that makes them illegal? May mga cases ba na ganun?
Attorney Fernandez.
Sir, for the new ones po that we cancel po based on violations of our rules and regulations, we make sure po that they are not operational. So our compliance monitoring and enforcement department regularly visits po the sites to ensure non-operation. But with regard po sa mga previously po na cancel, I think yun po yung mga nasa listahan natin that have to be checked and monitor for actual non-operations po.
Thank you, but I have a very limited time here. I'll get back to you that later. Mr. Chair, let me ask I think my final question. Mr. Chairman Tenko, are you familiar? There's a parallel investigation now happening in the Senate. Are you aware of that, right?
Yes,
Yes, I
in
believe
fact,
you've
I have
appeared.
been attending the hearings, Congressman.
Yes, and the testimonies or the committee hearing that is now being conducted ongoing in the Senate, all of these testimonies are part of the public records, right? And so there on June 10, 2024, the chairman of that committee, Senator Risa Hontiveros, mentioned that former Cabinet Secretary Attorney Harry Roque went to PAGCOR with a certain individual whose name is Cassandra Leong to raise questions about Lucky South 999's RERs. Can you also please indulge this committee in the share to us what transpired exactly in that event?
I'm trying to recall. Yes,
Recall, Kwan, correctly, ano, para...
yes, sir. Sometime in the second week of July 2023, my office received a call from former spokesperson and Secretary Harry Roque asking if he could personally visit me in my office. And on the 26th of July, 2023, if I'm not mistaken, Secretary Roque, former Secretary Roque, went to see me, and kasama po niya noon ay isang binibini na nagngangalang Cassandra Ong, Lee Ong. Sa pulong po na yon, inanyayahan kong makasama ko si Attorney Jessa Fernandez sapagkat siya po ang head ng Overseas Gaming Licensing Department. At apat po kami noon na nandun sa kwarto ko sa lumang opisina ng PAGCOR sa Ermita. At doon po ang pinakikiusap po ni former Secretary Roque ay kung maaring matulungan si Binibining Cassandra Ong dahil may problema siya sa PAGCOR sa pangkasalukuyan. So, tinanong ko po si Cassandra Ong, Binibining Cassandra Ong, kung ano po yung problema na yon. At ang sabi po niya ay, Chairman, kami po ay tumanggap ng sulat mula kay Attorney Fernandez kung saan nasasaad sa sulat na kami 6 na buwan nang may arrears sa PAGCOR. At nagkakahalaga po yung arrears na yun na himigit kumulang sa $500,000, 500,000
Amounting
US
to
dollars.
in peso.
Then about 27.5 million din.
So losses yun ng gobyerno.
Hindi po, arrears pa lang po yun.
Hindi pa natin
ang ibig
nakokolekt.
sabihin ko po ay sumulat po ang OGLD sa kay Cassandra Ong para ipaalam sa kanilang hindi natatanggap ng PAGCOR ang bayad nitong nakarang 6 na buwan. So, ang sabi ko doon kay Cassandra, paano nangyari yon? Kayo ba'y nagbabayad? Ang sagot po niya, alam niyo po, Chairman, nagbabayad kami buwanan sa isang taong nagngangalang Mr. Dennis Cunanan na siyang authorized representative namin ng kumpanya at ang katotohanan, bukod do sa buwanang sinisingil sa amin ng PAGCOR, ay nagdadagdag pa siya ng fines and penalties. So, sabi niya, ako ay naniniwala sa kanya dahil siya ang authorized representative ko at siya rin ang naglakad ng lisensya namin. Sinabi po niya yon sa PAGCOR. At ang sabi po niya ay nagtiwala siya doon, lumalabas ngayon hindi po inihuhulog o ibinabayad ni Ginoong Cunanan yung binibigay na pera sa kanya ni Cassandra Ong. So sabi ko, since hindi nakarating sa PAGCOR yan, we will still consider.
Saan daw napupunta?
Ang sabi daw po ni Mr. Cunanan, ibinabayad niya sa PAGCOR. So, sinabi ko naman po kay Cassandra, kung talagang binabayad niya, meron ba siyang binibigay sa yung resibo? Or pagpapatunay na tinanggap ng PAGCOR yan? Ang sabi niya hindi daw po niya nakukuha yung mga resibo. So, sabi ko sa kanya, kaharap po si Secretary Roque, dahil doon sa problemang yan, hindi problema yan ng PAGCOR, obligasyon ninyong bayaran yung yung utang na $500,000. Ang sabi po ni Cassandra, sa mga sandaling nag-uusap kami, meron na raw pong inutusan siyang magbayad ng initial payment sa branch ng Land Bank para sa account ng PAGCOR. Sabi ko, so babayaran mo yung 500,000, imigit kumulang. Sabi niya, opo. So, dun lang po, pangalawa po, dahil nga doon sa bagong panuntunan at guidelines na ilinabas namin para nga malinis na itong mga nangyayaring mga illegal na mga activities, in-anticipate na po niya na mag-expire po yung license nila na ipinagkaloob nung nakarang administrasyon ng PAGCOR nung 2020. So mag-expire na po yun sa 2023. Naghayag po siya kung maaari daw po ay magpa-file sila for renewal of license. Ang pangalan po ng kumpanya na binanggit niya, Lucky South 99.
So itong pong pagpunta po sa inyo ni Miss Cassandra Leong na sinamahan po siya ni Attorney Roque. Ito po yung may area sila, pag-pre-apply again?
Dalawang bagay po. Una po,
Ilan ba?
kanyang ipinaparating sa amin na tumanggap siya ng sulat kay Attorney Fernandez doon sa arrears nilang himigit kumulang $500,000 at pagkatapos niya babayaran niya. Dahil sabi ko, hindi pwedeng mabigyan kayo ng kahit anong diskwento dyan sapagkat pagkakautang ninyo yan sa PAGCOR. So, gusto ko pala, nung umalis po sila, sabi ko kay Attorney Fernandez, pakicheck mo nga kung tunay na nagpabayad sila. Wala pa po sigurong isang oras, bumalik sa akin si Attorney Fernandez para sabihing, totoo nga, nagbayad sila ng $203,000. Sabi naman po, partial payment eh. So, nakita po ni Attorney Fernandez, pumasok po sa account ng PAGCOR, $203,000. So, that is issue number 1. Doon po sa kahilingan niyang pangalawa, na kung maaari tulungan sila sa renewal, ang sagot ko lang sa kanya, Ma'am, Attorney Roque, meron na po tayong mga bagong panuntunan or bagong guidelines dahil nag-iigpit na po ang PAGCOR sa pangkasalukuyan. Kung magfa-file kayo for renewal, all you have to do is go through the list of documents and all other requirements that you have to submit, and we will evaluate your application for renewal.
Mr. Chair, you may continue, Mr. Chair. Yeah. In that meeting, what was your impression of Attorney Harry Roque? Was there as a friend, or was there any connection with the company that Miss Cassandra Leong was trying to represent?
Sa akin pong nakita naman, at ito liniwanag ko din sa Senado, hindi po naman nang pre-pressure si Attorney Roque. Siya po ay nakikiusap na kung maaring tulungan si Cassandra Ong. So, in answer to your question, I believe Attorney Roque, being a lawyer, was helping out a client. So that is my impression. Now, when they submitted their reapplication, Congressman Adyong, part of the new requirements now would be for a company applying to submit their organizational chart and come out with the true beneficial owner. Doon po sa sinumiti nilang application, nakasama po doon ang organizational chart ng kumpanyang Lucky South 99. At doon po, may kahon po ron, nakalagay legal, Harry Roque ang nakalagay na pangalan.
Okay, the reason why, Mr. Chair, I'm asking this is because apart from that meeting with Lucky South 99
po.
Lucky South 99, which apparently have RERs and they also want to reapply
Opo.
for a license.
Renewal
Apart
po.
from that, there was a believe if my recollection serves me right, Mr. Chair, there was a statement came out from Attorney Roque saying that he has no involvement whatsoever in Lucky South 99. In fact, he was there. Maybe something about the Whirlwind Corporation. That I think was also trying to or have already granted licensee by PAGCOR.
Okay.
Yes, can you elaborate, because you're in that meeting, and I want this committee to understand what was really happened there. Because, Mr. Chair, we're talking about business permit, etc. We're talking about Bamban in Tarlac. We're talking about Porac in Pampanga. But we are trying to look at how this system is going on, how POGOs operate, and what are the system that they're trying to plus gusto natin malaman, Mr. Chair, kasi kung ang mga involved dito ay medyo matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno, palagay ko naman kaya tayo nagkakarig ganito na problema dahil may problema doon sa mga backing and backers, no? Kaya gusto natin malaman if we really try to dig deeper into the problem of this illegal POGO operation, we should not leave any stone unturned, especially if it was made out in the open. Especially if some personalities involved have used to work in our government, no, in whatever government, in whatever capacity that they have assumed office, no. So gusto natin malaman yun. So can you tell me, Mr. Chair?
Congressman Adjong, I also read the article of former Secretary Roque in the Philippine Star last Saturday or Sunday over the weekend. And doon po sinabi niya na wala siyang kinalaman sa Lucky South 99 at nagpunta po siya doon para samahan si Binibining Cassandra Ong para sa Whirlwind Corporation.
Hindi, tanong ko muna dyan. Singit ko lang.
Yes.
Yung bang Whirlwind Corporation is licensee ng PAGCOR?
Yun po ang ipaliliwanag ko, Chairman.
So, licensee siya?
Hindi po. At never po.
Nag-apply din po siya ng license?
Hindi po.
So,
Hindi
wala,
po.
so no reason for them to be in your
Hindi po.
office?
At una po, hindi po. Ang punta po nila sa akin, kaharap si Attorney Jessa, was for Lucky South 99. Sapagkat sinulatan po ang Lucky South 99 na sila ay 6 na buwan nang hindi nagbabayad sa PAGCOR. So definitely, with due respect to former Secretary Roque, wala pong napag-usapan tungkol sa Whirlwind doon sa pulong namin. Ang punta po nila ay, una, liliwanagin ko, tungkol doon sa arrears ng Lucky South 99 na nagkakahalaga ng himigit kumulang 500,000 dolyar. 500,000 dolyar. Pangalawa, valid pa po yung lisensya niya ng Lucky South 99 sapagkat ito po yung inisyo nung nakarang administrasyon ng PAGCOR in 2020. 2023 para mag-expire yata sa October pa. Inabutan po siya ng bagong struktura na ini-implement natin para
So hindi na
malinis natin.
nakakuha ng lisensya ang Whirlwind.
Hindi, una po yung Whirlwind was never in the discussion. Number 2, Whirlwind was never a licensee. Number 3, Whirlwind never applied for a license with PAGCOR.
So in other words, there's nothing to talk about Whirlwind
Wala po.
because hindi siya licensee
Hindi po.
at hindi siya nag-a-apply.
Hindi din po.
But hindi, pero it was not even talk about.
During the meeting, hindi po. Kasama ko po si Atty. Fernandez.
When was the last time that you have spoken with aside from the director?
Una at huling pagkakataon ko po yun, pero matapos po noon, binigay ko po hiningi po niya yung number ni Atty. Fernandez para hindi na raw po ako masyadong maabala. Binigay po namin yung number ni Atty. Fernandez at sila po ay nagko-communicate. Meron pong record dito si Atty. Fernandez sa kanyang telepono na nagpa-follow up. Siguro po, para hindi na second-hand information with your indulgence.
Yeah, okay.
Kung pwede pong
we will be
sagutin na ni
allowing
Atty. Fernandez.
Well, since the Chairman Altenco have mentioned about the communication between Attorney Fernandez and the former Secretary Harry Roque after the July 2023 encounter.
July 26 po, 2023.
I thought that was the last time that you have spoken with each other. But, yes.
Personally. And
Yes.
then, matapos po noon, nakuha po niya yung, binigay po namin number ni Atty. Fernandez. Kaya Atty. Fernandez na po siya nakikipag-ugnayan.
So, can you kindly, are you in, you can give us the details of your conversation, Attorney Fernandez?
Yes, sir. After po nun, kasi because of the arrears of Lucky South, they only paid po the partially. So, 203,000 po of the arrears and continuous pa po yung billing nun from July eh. So, tuloy pa rin po nila na tinatapos po yung payment po nila for the arrears. So we cannot really, aside from payment of the arrears as well as the completion of the requirements for the new license, kaya tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung evaluation. And then I received lang po a follow-up starting Feb 1, 2024, asking po for the lacking documents to be complied with. And then I sent po the lacking documents via Viber, to which he replied, salamat po. And then, sumunod po, March 11 na po, 2024, and then ini-inform niya po ako that they retained a lawyer to do the AMLC requirements. Then April 24 and 26.
Wait lang. Anong AMLC po, ma'am? Sorry, medyo mahina ako sa mga acronyms eh. AMLA.
Apo. Isa po, kasama po kasi sa requirements natin yung sa AMLC, so they have to secure a lawyer related to AMLC. And then for 2 times po, I missed po calls, April 24 and 26. And then May po, May 2, meron po ulit follow-up on the status of the evaluation of the documents. And then last po is May 14, when I informed po Attorney Roque of the decision that the application will be denied po.
Okay, so denied yung sa Lucky.
Yes, sir. Opo, hindi po talaga siya nabigyan po ng
So,
license.
unlucky.
Nakabayad na po sila. Nabayaran na po nila IRS.
Okay,
Pero yung pong, bagamat na deny, binayaran po nila yung arrears na kulang kalahating milyong dolyar.
Yes, sir. Bale, wala po silang naging utang po sa PAGCOR.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Meron kasi nakantay, so I will not take much, but I would like to avail of the second, if there's a
second round.
Yes, ma'am.
So yung Lucky South, wala na siyang lisensya ngayon, ha? Yung Lucky South 99, wala na.
Nung renade po sila sa PORAC, wala pong lisensya yun.
Oo,
But wait, kung nung,
hindi, ang Whirlwind, wala rin.
Wala rin po.
Wala rin.
Hindi po nag-apply ang Whirlwind.
Yes.
Hindi po nagkaroon ng lisensya ang Whirlwind.
Never, ha?
Ha? PAGCOR does not have any relationship with Whirlwind.
So talagang illegal yung Whirlwind.
Hindi ko po alam kung anong operation niya.
Yeah.
Pero definitely, wala pong relasyon ang PAGCOR sa Whirlwind. Maliwanag po yun.
Okay.
Ano po yung
So in other words, most likely, baka naman yung sa, baka yung mga different members ng PAGCOR ang nagko-communicate sa kanila. Well, anyway, kasi meron ako nakuha yung kay Dennis Cunanan. Have we invited Dennis Cunanan? Hindi, no? Most likely, we need to invite him, ano? Kasi dito pa lamang doon sa kanyang personal disclosure statement, na, di ba ito yung na-involve sa PDAP scam?
Yes,
Diba?
yes, Richard.
And matutuwa ka doon sa kanyang disclosure dito, Have you been charged with offense and awaiting hearing? Ano? Sabi niya, no. So, basically, talagang dito pa lamang, nagsisinungaling na talaga itong ating mga... Anyway, so...
For manifestation, Mr. Chair, for closing manifestation,
Sige, go ahead.
before I avail. Mr. Chair, if we really truly want to really dig deeper and then find out really the reason why there's a proliferation of illegal activities that board, some crimes have already been committed. I think we seriously contemplate on inviting all these individuals that were mentioned, Mr. Chair. So I leave the decision to the collective decision of this committee. But if you would ask me, Mr. Chair, I really want them to really appear before this committee hearing, and then so that we can ask the proper questions that should be asked and should be addressed, the concerns that should be addressed, Mr.
Is
Chair.
that a motion?
I would convert that into a
Okay.
motion, Mr. Chair.
Do it properly, my friend.
I move that we invite Cassandra Leong and
Dennis Cunanan.
and Dennis Cunanan and Attorney Harry Roque.
Okay, there's a motion
in this-
to...
in the next committee hearing, Mr.
Ito lang ba
Chair.
yung mga imbita natin? I think the... I saw also the Whirlwind Corporation,
And maybe, Mr. Chair, if kasi sinabi mo kanina, maybe may nakausap sila sa mga board of directors ng PAGCOR. I don't know if it's present or I presume it's in the past.
I
board
think
of
the
directors.
former PAGCOR chair Si
Yeah.
Andrea Domingo. Let's invite her as well. Kasi ito, 2019, who is the chairman ng PAGCOR?
Chairman po noon si Andrea Domingo.
2019.
2019.
O, ito dito lang. Kita-kita mo yung mga ano. Ha? Andrea Domingo, let's invite her.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because the degree of the problems that we're facing now,
Yeah.
the international security concern, if set aside pa yung mga violations and mga abuses, I think we need to seriously hear the testimony of
To
this.
finish
individuals.
your motion, so there's a motion to invite those personalities. And is there any second motion?
Second motion.
This duly seconded. Any objection? On the part of the Committee on Public Order, the said motion is now approved.
I manifest my second
on the
round po. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Any objection for the Games Committee? Hearing none. Motion is carried.
Okay. Please proceed.
Yeah, I'd like to register my second round po. I'll like to avail the second round. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ang dami akong tanong. Ang dami akong kasi wala pa akong position. But anyway, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hearing and listening to the questions and the answers which are being propounded to all of us, it appears that the operation of illegal IGLs, internet gaming licensees, those that are illegal, is massive, comprehensive, and extensive. However, in terms of the power to regulate of the Philippine government, I wish to classify these two POGOs. One is Philippine-based. That is within the radar of the Philippine government. And this is the type of internet gaming licensees where there are a lot of aliens, foreign nationals who come to the country. Of the power to regulate of the Philippine government, I wish to classify these two POGOs. One is Philippine-based. That is within the radar of the Philippine government. And this is the type of internet gaming licensees where there are a lot of aliens, foreign nationals who come to the country. The other type is the foreign country-based, where there are some OFWs being recruited to work abroad. My initial concern is, while we are discussing about the Philippine-based POGOs, we are investigating on the illegal activities. I don't know if the Philippine government has effort as well in monitoring about the Filipinos working in foreign-based POGOs, similar to the one of the witnesses who was presented earlier. Napakalaki po ng operation nitong mga illegal POGOs that indeed it calls for a whole of the government approach. Kanina po, napag-usapan natin, they enter through the Bureau of Immigration. And I wish to raise questions to the BI. Ano po ba ang ginagawa nating monitoring process with respect to tourists on one hand, and with respect to those who wish to avail of working visa on the other hand? Mr. Chair, can we hear from BI?
Your Honor, yes, good afternoon po. Regarding po dun sa mga foreign arrivals of foreigners, it's always a balancing act kasi yung promotion natin ng tourism and also yung how to counter yung mga, how to minimize yung mga criminal activities ng mga we deem as bad foreigners. So, pagdating po sa mga working visa, mahigpit na rin yung bureau po ngayon sa mga tourist, sa mga arrivals. So yung mga napoprofile namin na na will be working here and not really tourists, na-exclude po sila.
Mr. Chair, to expound on this question, Bureau of Immigration, ano po ba ang requirements na hinihingi natin for the tourists who come into the country? Or to be specific, to test your monitoring system for the month of June 2024.
Ang hinihingi po, ang pinoprofile natin po doon is if they appear to be legitimate tourists, we allow them to enter. But if they appear to have other intentions, in-exclude po natin.
Okay, and to test your monitoring system, June 2024, ilan po ang turistang pumasok sa ating bansa?
Ma'am, sa ngayon po hindi ko po masasagot directly, but I can submit po within this week po. Kasi,
Yes, we will be interested to know that.
Opo.
And of course, upon entry, you're asking them for the date of their return to their country.
Yes
So
po.
the next question will be, out of the total number of tourists who came in, ilan po yung na-monitor nyong bumalik sa kanilang bansa? At ilan po yung na-monitor nyong walang records ng departure dito sa Philippines?
I-check po namin, Kong. Pero yung event, at least po sa mga rules po, yung mga tourists, they're also allowed to extend po yung mga, yung mga
And
visa
that
nila.
will give rise to my third question. How many tourists requested for extension of their permit to stay?
We will check po the data, Congressman.
I understand, Mr. Chair, that the mandate of the Bureau of Immigration is to monitor the arrivals in the country, most especially of foreign nationals. I lament that the Bureau of Immigration is not prepared with their data as they attend our committee hearing today. That is for the record, Mr. Chair. Let us go to foreign nationals who applied for working visa. Ano po ba ang requirements na hinihingi natin sa kanila?
May mga documentary requirements po, pero one of the most important requirements is yung alien employment permit na issued ng Department of Labor and Employment.
Yes, and can you give us a data of the number of foreign nationals who were issued by DOLE an alien employment certificate?
We can issue po yung data that the BI, the visas that the BI issued.
The data that the immigration issued,
Yes po.
this is the alien certificate of registration or the working visa?
Working visa po.
The working visa. What are your requirements for the issuance of working visa?
Among other, there are sets of documentary requirements, but one of the main requirements is the alien employment permit from the DOLE po.
The alien employment permit is issued by DOLE.
Opo.
So, I wish to believe na ang binibigyan nyo lang ng working visa are those who were issued by DOLE the alien employment certificate. Is that correct, Mr. Chair?
Yes po, yun lang po may AEP.
I wish to request, Mr. Chair, the Bureau of Immigration to also provide the committee, the joint committee, the data of the number of foreign nationals who came and out of the number of the foreign nationals who entered the country, how many of them applied and were issued working visa? I understand, Mr. Chair, that the working visa has validity also.
Yes po.
What is the period of validity for a working visa?
It is coterminous with the validity of the alien employment permit po.
And how long is the alien employment certificate?
It can be from 1 year to 3 years po.
1 year to 3 years. So if the alien employment certificate that will be presented to you is 3 years, you will be giving a working visa for 3 years also.
Yes po, generally.
And do you monitor the whereabouts of these people who were issued already working visa?
Namomonitor po namin through the registration system. Through the alien registration po.
How can you monitor it through the data of the alien registration system?
Ma'am, we have also the intelligence division to monitor them.
So what does the intelligence division do?
Well, sa ngayon po, may program din po yung Bureau ng mga alien mapping. So, chine-check po nila yung mga communities ng mga presence ng mga aliens.
Because this concerns about foreign nationals and you are the agency who has jurisdiction over them to regulate their activities here. Do you do an ocular inspection, a physical inspection of the whereabouts of these foreign nationals?
Yes po, meron po.
Really?
Yes po, yes po.
Can you please cite an example of foreign nationals who were issued working visa and then you conducted a physical inspection of his current whereabouts?
Kung pwede po yung magsagot po yung Intel Division Chief namin
Yes,
about
please.
the monitoring po. Okay.
Which comes first, the AEC or the visa?
EC, requirement for your visa.
Dahil pumapasok sila tourist.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Your Honors.
Yes, we would like to know about the process of your physical inspection of the foreign nationals which were issued working visa already. Do you do a physical inspection to determine their whereabouts, to monitor their activities after the issuance of the working visa?
Your Honor, we do have an annual report activity every year. It's a 60-day activity wherein we require all registered foreign nationals to appear in person sa mga field offices, sa mga Bureau of Immigration offices, just to check their presence dito sa ating bansa. On top of that, may mga activities din po tayo na via complaint from the public or any concerned citizens.
Mr. Chair, if I may interrupt, yun po bang na-issuehan nyo ng working visa? Lahat nag-a-update ng kanilang records sa inyong mga field offices?
That's a mandatory requirement po.
Yes, it is. But in actual practice, based on your observation, kunyari po may 1,000 kayong binigyan ng working visa. Yung 1,000 po bang yun regularly nag-a-update din?
Your Honor, there's like two types of monitoring with regard to those who have been issued of working visas or any other immigrant visas.
Mr. Chair, I wish to ask the immigration, would you agree with me if I would say na kung ang foreign national ay may ginagawang illegal activity, they will not give updates to the Bureau of Immigration? Of course.
Your
Dahil
Honor,
illegal ang ginagawa nila, di ba?
Your Honor, we're just after po sa kanilang visa status and immigration status with regard to their activities po. If it's criminal, that's beyond immigration jurisdiction. It's gonna
Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, I wish to remind the Bureau of Immigration that the issuance and possession of working visa is on the condition that they are not doing any illegal activity in the country. So it is very significant that you monitor as well, nasa na itong mga foreigners na ito? Anong ginagawa ng mga foreigners na ito? Are they involved in illegal activities already? Because if they are, then you should cancel right away the alien certificate of registration. But how would you know kung wala naman kayong extreme measure to monitor the physical whereabouts of these foreign nationals who were issued working visa?
Tama po kayo, Your Honor. The only material or order that we can implement or execute is the mission order. Yung mission order po, sad to say, cannot be used on any residential form of establishments or domicile or residence, but we can use the mission order on any business establishments po. Visitorial power po, Madam Chair, we don't have such.
You have visitorial power. You have visitorial power.
Madam Chair, it's only mission order and warrant of deportation order lang po.
What is the meaning of mission order?
Yung mission order po is an order signed by the commissioner to invite for validation and verification purposes of the status of a foreign individual or a person.
What is happening, Mr. Chair? The Bureau of Immigration is just waiting for the information which are being submitted by the foreign nationals. Do you confirm that, Bureau of Immigration? Hindi po kayo nag-iikot. Hindi po kayo nag-i-inspect. You just wait for the updates which are being given by the foreign nationals. And if I am the foreign national, I am engaged in illegal activity, bakit ko naman i-report ang illegal activities ko sa inyo? So I will be reporting only legit operations of our business or employment. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, we do respect. Ang Bureau po, may mga initiatives din po na on its own, arresting and monitoring foreign nationals without even the joint operations of any law enforcement agencies.
But let me go back to the question. Kayo po ba'y umiikot? Kayo po ba'y nag-o-ocular inspection? Nitong mga taong naisuhan nyo ng working visa?
Your Honor, we can do such activity if equipped with the mission order.
So what do you recommend, BI? What do you recommend? Because you are the agency principally concerned about the foreign nationals entering the Philippine jurisdiction, having seen the loopholes na ang dami pong mga foreign nationals involved in illegal activities, what do you recommend now?
Madam Chair, with the present immigration law that we have right now, maybe in any aid of legislation we can propose strengthening further the immigration law so that we can have a visitation power, Madam Chair.
To be specific, Mr. Chair, we want the Bureau of Immigration to be proactive kasi based on their explanation about the mission order. The foreign nationals are just being directed to give updates on their activities. I think it should be done otherwise. Dapat Bureau of Immigration ang naghahanap dito sa mga foreign nationals instead of just waiting for the updates being submitted by the foreign nationals. Because I will say it again, if I am a foreigner engaged in illegal activities, bakit ko naman i-report yung illegalities ko sa BI? Siyempre, sasabihin ko lang yung mga legit. Tama po ba?
Madam Chair, may operating arm po ang Bureau of Immigration, Fugitive Search Unit and Intelligence Division. On top of the reports, whether it's in writing or in verbal reports, we do also conduct our own case build-ups, our own initiatives, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chair, contrary to the representation of the Bureau of Immigration, I understand that they are involved in the case build-up. They do conduct arrest and deportation as well. However, Mr. Chair, what I'm trying to point out is, as the Philippine agency concerned about the entry and exit and the stay of the foreign nationals in our jurisdiction, they must be proactive. They should not be relying merely on the information which are being submitted by the foreign nationals.
Congresswoman Luistro, meron ba kayo, immigration? Yung ba natawag natin na parang police immigration na siya nagmo-monitor ng ganyan. Meron ba kayo ganung arm dun sa inyong bureau?
Three operating arm, Mr. Chair. One is the Fugitive Search Unit. The other one,
Pre-operating arm. Anong function nun?
authorized to arrest and apprehend foreign nationals, Mr. Chair.
Yun na rin kasama yung nagmo-monitor, yung mga sinasabi ni Congresswoman Luistro that yung iba overstaying na, katapos na mag-aral, hindi mo na alam kung nasaan, di ba? Siguro, palitan yung pangalan nyo, gawin yung mga, siyempre, paglalaman police immigration, tatakot yung mga yan. Kailangan, you have to be yung optics, ano, precise, na ito yung purpose para yung mga nag-stay dito ng mga foreigners na apprehend natin. Sige, go ahead, Congresswoman Luistro.
Mr. Chair, with that, I move that we direct the Bureau of Immigration to submit data as to the number of tourists who arrive in the country, the total number of tourists who later on applied for a working visa, the number of tourists who applied for extension, and the number of the grantees of working visa who likewise applied for extension. And with that, Mr. Chair, I think we will be able to assess if the monitoring system of the Bureau of Immigration is enough to help the Philippine government prevent the proliferation of illegal activities related to illegal POGOs, Mr. Chair. Another agency which I wish to ask is DOLE. Do we have DOLE here? May DOLE po ba tayo?
Kung wala.
I respectfully move, Mr. Chair, by virtue of the deputization that was given to this representation by SDS Don Gonzales, that we subpoena, or we invite the DOLE for our next committee hearing.
Inviting
The DOLE.
the DOLE. Okay, so there's a motion to invite the Secretary of the Department of Labor and Employment. Second the motion by Congressman Ace Barber. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved on behalf of the Committee on
The next agency that I wish to ask,
Okay.
do we have representative from the national level of the Business Permit and Licensing Office? How do we call that? Do we have a resource person from DILG?
We have invited the President of the BPLO. Andyan, no, kasama natin yan. Ayan, si Malinaw?
Malaya, sir. Malaya,
Hindi
Mr.
pa tayo
Chair.
malaya sa mga illegal pogos. Sige, Congresswoman Luistro.
To the President of the BPLO, may we know how do you address, perform, implement the mandate of your office? Paano nyo po ba ginagawa yung mandato ng BPLO?
Good afternoon po ulit. Madam, let's just put it into context kung pwede po dun sa mga IGLs na lang po, no? So, I'll speak on the scenario or on the process in the city of Parañaque because that's where I am the BPLO. And incidentally, also where a number of IGLs are located. So, ma'am, kagaya po ng sinabi kanina ni Mr. Chairman, ni Chairman Altenco, yung pong yung letter of no objection is a requirement in setting up an IGL in the city.
Mr. Chair, if I may interrupt, let us assume, Madam BPLO, of the situation that the license has been issued already. After the issuance of the license by the LGU as well as by the PAGCOR, what do you do to monitor the activities of this supposed POGOs?
Yes po. We do conduct inspections, Mr. Chair, no? We do conduct regular inspection and kapag ka po may mga complaints or request for a joint inspection, we do conduct, kagaya po ng ginagawa namin with DOJ, under USEC NICTI, no, ano po, they coordinate with our office and sinasamahan po namin sila for inspection. Also po, on the part of PNP, they have this REACT, Task Force REACT, na ini-invite din po kami and wherein we are a member, yung pong LGU. So we conduct inspection on businesses, yung mga negosyo po na into internet gaming, nag-inspect din po kami.
What is apparent here, Mr. Chair, yung mga illegal POGOs, they purposely do not apply and secure for a license. That's the representation of PAGCOR. And even the non-POGOs, even other establishments, if they are conducting illegal activities, of course, they will not be applying for a license or a permit. So, what measures do you have to be able to find these companies who purposely did not secure a license to facilitate illegal activities?
Madam, ang ginagawa po namin, we rely on complaints by the barangay or by the neighborhood. Ano po?
So that if there are no complaints, you will not be able to
Ma'am.
find out.
Yes, ma'am. In Parañaque, ma'am, we have 25,000 registered businesses and we only have 10 inspectors. So, performing yung regular job of inspecting yung mga new businesses. And so, ma'am, we rely mainly on information by the PNP, by the barangays, by our homeowners association. And after po namin maka-receive ng information, we immediately conduct inspection and we do joint inspection with the PNP and other regulatory offices in the city.
Are you trying to say, Madam BPLO, that the logistics of the BPLO should be strengthened to become capacitated to monitor and apprehend those involved in illegal activities?
Considering the limitations of the LGU, ma'am, I think lahat po naman ng government agency are not fully equipped to monitor all illegal activities.
Please do not generalize, ma'am, because we are the government. If only we will be adopting the whole of the government approach, like the Bureau of Immigration should be strongly coordinating with the DOLE should be strongly coordinating with the BPLO, I think we will be able to determine and find the whereabouts of these perpetrators of illegal activities. Yes, there are limitations, but if we will be working together, I think there are means to be able to